Another boring episode of Going Mentally Ill, Fixing Computer Problems. That should be the title of this YouTube channel. Otra video para ti hoy estas eron y con de anetcomputers.com. I know you're annoyed by my bilingual, and I know you're annoyed by the way I look, and I know you're annoyed that I'm not a pale-skinned European. Do I give a fuck? No. I am thankful, though. Thank dog I'm not a Christian. Thank dog I'm not religious. And also, I'm glad I don't work a job. I'm glad I do not have a job. I don't sit in a cubicle going insane in corporate America, government, military America. Fuck corporate America and fuck government, military America. I'm just so glad I don't work in the information technology sector for somebody else. Alright, I'll get to this. Hewlett Packard Photosmart 335 software installation instructions. Now, this is one of the first times, if not ever, I recall a Hewlett Packard printer installation where you hook up the printer first. I think it's the first time ever that I recall. This one's a hybrid. Now, I think this is an older printer. This printer supports Microsoft Windows 2000, Windows XP, Vista 7, 8, or 10. So that tells me that if it supported Windows 2000 and it was a new printer, that would be absurd to manufacture a new printer and have it support a fucking 18-year-old operating system. So this is an older printer. However, you can still install it on newer operating systems. If you're using an older operating system, Windows 2000, XP, and Vista, there is software that you will download, and then you install the software, and then you hook up this Hewlett Packard Photosmart 335. When prompted via the software installation, then hook up the printer. If you're using Windows 7, 8, or 10 operating system, then you hook up the printer first via a universal serial bus cable, and then you go and use the Add Printer tool, the Add Printer wizard. Here's the initial request. Muy rapido. I want to see you motherfucking pale-skinned Europeans roll your R's like that. I should be careful what I say, because remember the initial genocide of my ancestors. 95% of my ancestors were murdered off by you pale-skinned European motherfuckers. And some of you pale-skinned European motherfuckers are known as Spaniards. You're Spanish. The Spanish language is a European language. So sometimes you have to be careful what you say. But I know Nahuatl. You want to learn Nahuatl. It's a more indigenous language, which I only know a few words. But the pale-skinned Europeans, after they murdered 95% of my ancestors, then what they did is they forced the rest of us into assimilation, and they forced us to speak languages like Spanish. I am trying to install an installation disk on my computer, and it is saying contact my administrator, HP Photosmart 335. Well, you know what? Instead of fucking around, wasting time trying to help them install the software off their CD-ROM disk, I just said fuck that. And I cut to the chase, and I found an alternative. Now, these clowns, these schmucks, because I don't want to talk about it, these goddamn Americans, they're so fucked up. First, they asked me for help. Then they refused to give me the operating system. I asked them, well, what operating system are you using? They wouldn't tell me. How is it? Why? You have no business using a computer. If you do not remember your Apple ID, if you do not remember your Windows password, if you do not remember your Mac administrator password, if you don't even know what operating system you're using, you do not have any business using a computer, according to me. How is it possible that you're using a computer and you don't even know what operating system you're using? How is that? That blows away my logic. That makes no logical sense. So a lot of these customers fucking piss me off with their stupidity and just the fact that they're lazy. I asked them, well, what operating system are you using? Well, they wouldn't volunteer that information. It could be because they don't know. And then they went ahead and they rated me. However, I have a perfect score last month. Hold on a second. That goddamn fan is starting to squeal. I think I need to add some oil to that fan, but it only costs, it's a nice fan. It's only $30. It's a window fan, but it starts squealing, and I would have to take all of the plastic apart, and then I have to oil it, and I don't want to go through all that, but I think that might be why it's squealing. Here's a tip. If you have a squealing computer fan, whether it's in a laptop or a desktop, what I'm talking about is really, how some, especially 20 years ago, all of a sudden your power supply would be, it's the fan. It could be the power supply fan or another fan. But especially 10, 15, 20 years ago, power supply fans would get dry. You take it apart, be careful, there's capacitors, etc. But all you do is put in a little bit of oil in the fan. But that's a separate video, and I'm not making that shit up. And the fan will last another, however long. But yes, you can easily solve a squealing computer fan, even a laptop fan. Although it still occurs, but generally, anyways, let's digress back to this. I don't want to make this video long because I've got oatmeal. I've got other shit to do, man. I've got oatmeal I have to eat. Come on. All right. So this video, normally I'd be done already. But this video is a little bit different. It's a hybrid. Now, I'm going to show you this tool only because this is a different type of an install. This is a Hewlett Packard Photosmart 335 compact photo printer. It looks like it's pretty old. It supports Windows 2000. Now, here is how I figured it out. Now, if you notice, it should automatically detect your operating system. It may not detect older operating systems. I don't know for a fact. I didn't test. But you notice the operating system that was detected is Windows 10 64-bit, and that is correct. If you click on driver product installation software, you notice there's nothing there. You know why that is? Is because this is a newer modern operating system. It's a piece of shit, but whatever. It's newer, it's modern. Just because it's newer or modern doesn't mean it's a productive operating system. A rice burner or a Kawasaki motorcycle? I don't know. I'm not using that term racially either. No, I could be wrong. I don't think I'm a bigot. The pale-skinned Europeans are racist. The other people that are not pale-skinned, they're bigots. But I don't think I'm one of those. That's another reason why I avoid 98% of Americans. And I don't want to talk about how I've only traveled abroad like to 3 other nation states or 2, whatever the fuck. All right. Now, let's go through all of them. So we're going to click on change. If your operating system is not correctly detected, all you do is click on change. Now we're going to choose Windows 8. And then click on change again. You notice there is no download software. Okay? Now we're going to choose Windows 7, and there will not be a download software because I went through this before. It doesn't matter which version, 32-bit, 64-bit. If it's a new enough Microsoft Windows operating system, there will be no downloadable software. Click on change. Click on driver products installation software. There is no download. Now we're going to go to Vista. Windows Vista. And there should be a download available. There it is right there. It's 7.1 megabytes. Hewlett Packard Print and Scan Doctor for Windows. So, well, there's a diagnostic tools. Well, that's just a diagnostic tool. Okay, how about Windows XP? Click change. There we go. Basic drivers. So it looks like Windows Vista, I guess there is no install software. Okay? But Windows XP there is. Basic drivers. There's also updates, and then there's also the diagnostic tool. But so there is a driver you would have to install and download and install. Okay? It's right there. Now let's go back to Windows 2000. It's the HP Photosmart printer software and driver. It's really most like, I hate these manufacturers. I hate the system. I hate capitalism. I hate government military. This planet is wretched. I don't want to talk about how I just want, 98% of Americans at least are repugnant scum to me. All right. I just had to throw that one out. I had to get that off my chest. Now you know where I'm coming from. If you're offended by what I just said, get the fuck off my YouTube channel. I digress back. I also hate how these tech giants, the billion-dollar fascist corporations, they just terrible. They're just disarray. They're not well organized. This software is what is also known as Hewlett Packard Scan. It's called Hewlett Packard Solution Center. Hewlett Packard Solution Center. The GUI has not changed in at least a decade. Hewlett Packard Solution Center. You can buy a brand new printer now, and you're still going to install Hewlett Packard Solution Center. You could buy a used printer from 15 years ago. Most likely, you're going to install Hewlett Packard Solution Center. That's why the download is so large. It's software. It's got scanner utility. It has blah, blah. It has a control panel, blah, 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 blah. Solution Center. All right. Now, if we go back to Windows 2000, there will be downloadable software. Basic drivers, which it's more than that. You see how they confuse people? No. I know for a fact that basic drivers are not 180.4. Who the fuck? I want to know who the fuck these billion-dollar corporations hire. They need to fire them all because that's not true. It's not a basic driver. A basic driver could be 20 megabytes. Even now, 20 megabytes. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 4 megabytes. Well, even less than that, less than a megabyte. But this is not basic drivers. This drives me. No wonder why people hate technology. Let me reiterate, or no. Let me rephrase that. No wonder why. Sometimes I wonder why people are lazy to learn how to, install, fix, learn about technology. Well, now this could be why. No wonder why some people fucking hate trying to learn technology, because the fucking mental midgets that end up with the marketing, and then a lot of this is political. Oh, yes. A lot of corporations are controlled by control freaks, and they won't allow you to write, whereas I'm like, oh my fucking God. See, you can confuse people. People are searching for for the software. Oh, but you called it basic drivers. They might overlook that. They might ignore it. They're like, oh, well, no. I want the full installation software. I want the HP Solution Center. I want the printer installation software. Whereas, oh, well, no, I don't want just the basic drivers, because there is a difference. Sometimes with these Hewlett Packard printers, you can download the full software pack, which is the HP Solution Center and the driver. Sometimes they allow you to download just the driver by itself. Oh, these goddamn tech companies just fucking drive me insane. This is another way I learned. 20 years ago, I noticed this pattern, and so that's how I learned how to become accurate. I learned that, oh well, don't overlook things. Don't overlook a link. Don't overlook expanding. Just because it says basic drivers does not necessarily mean that you will only have access to a basic driver. Because, look, it's the full software, 180 megabytes. It includes the scanning tool so that you can scan on your scanning bed. And it also has a control panel. It'll detect if the cartridges are low. It'll tell you how much ink is in the cartridges, and it'll monitor the printer over the network. It has a printer spool. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm done. And you wonder why some of us individuals that choose this profession, you wonder why we go mentally ill. Well, it's shit like this. All right, I think I'm done. So the reason why I wanted to show you that is there's two different types of installations possibly. Windows Vista 7, 8, 10, you're going to have to use the Add Printer Wizard. If it's Windows 2000, Windows XP, there is a full software download including the driver. Download it, 180 megabytes, double click it, follow the prompts. Do not hook up your printer until you're instructed. On Windows XP and Windows 2000, do not hook up your Hewlett Packard 335 Photosmart until instructed. If you're using Windows Vista 7, 8, or 10, hook up your Hewlett Packard Photosmart 335 printer first. This is the first video I know I've ever made telling you this. And I think this could be the first Hewlett Packard printer ever where you are required to hook it up first. But this is an older printer, and I'm surprised it's even still supported. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me demonstrate. I don't have a Hewlett Packard Photosmart 335, so I can't really completely demonstrate. And I know you're gonna go ahead. I already know you. Just do it now. I know you want to. Number 1, because I don't look like a pale-skinned European. Number 2, I'm not Christian. Number 3, I don't kiss the government military's ass. Number 4, I don't support the system. Number 5, I don't support capitalism. Number 6, I'm not politically correct. Number 7, I did not provide a 5,000 word blog post giving you instructions with screen captured images, giving you full instructions for Windows 2000, full instructions for Windows XP, full instructions for Windows Vista, full instructions for Windows 7, full instructions for Windows 8, full instructions for Windows 10. And it's a 5,000 word blog post. So you're going to blame me for that. So dislike this video now. I know you want to do it. I know you've wanted to dislike this video from the very first second that you started watching. Dislike this video right now. I like to become accurate as possible. I do not own a Hewlett Packard Photosmart 335. Therefore, I do not write lengthy blog posts if I don't have the product available. Because there's no. There is no easy button in technology. No. There are weird intricacies. Oh yes, trust me. Over 20 years of dealing with this shit on a daily basis, when you finally get your hands on a tangible item and then you go and try to install it, it can be different than what you were instructed to. Even directly from the manufacturers. There could be some weird oddity that you have to run into. I like to remain accurate. If I do not have the tangible item in my possession, and then which allows me to go ahead and test the install, then I don't like to write lengthy blog posts that could have misinformation in them. I know information technology shills, the 95% to close to 99% of them on YouTube don't give a fuck, and they act like they know everything, and they edit all their videos, and they just, or they write lengthy blog posts to get traffic, even though they never even went through the installation process with the actual device. So, but this is Windows 10 64-bit. So I'm just going to quickly show you what you would have to do. All right. Now, you want to go into the Add a Printer wizard. However, since this printer supports Windows Vista 7, 8, or 10, since I've used all of those operating systems, I know that the interfaces aren't all the same. So that is where this is a general installation video. On Windows 10, you can just type into Cortana control panel. Then choose, or another thing you could do is type in devices and printers. You could probably type in devices and printers into Cortana. Click on devices and printers, and then you'll notice add a printer. So click on add a printer. So you understand why I do what I do, and I don't give a fuck if you dislike this video because I didn't write, exact instructions with screen captures for every operating system. Well, guess what? I'm gonna tell you why here in a few seconds. Well, duh. Look. It's the printer that I want isn't listed. It's trying to detect the printer. Well, I don't own a Hewlett Packard Photosmart 335. Therefore, the Add a Printer wizard isn't going to detect it. Get it? But I do my best. With decades of experience, I know how to write blog posts and make videos with basis points. I give you enough information that you should be able to figure it out. And if you try to fucking blame me because I don't own a Hewlett Packard Photosmart 335 printer, fuck you and get the fuck off my YouTube channel. These instructions were obviously productive enough that another individual was helped by them. They gave me a positive rating, therefore I received compensation. Although they went against their promise. Let me wrap up. I'm done with the technology aspect of this video. Now I'm just going to hammer this customer really quick. So that's all you do. So whether it's Vista 7, 8, or 10, how you get to Add a Printer wizard is going to be different, but just go to Control Panel. If you do not know how to go to Control Panel, you can always type it into a search bar. Control, like I did, Control Panel, or maybe Devices and Printers. That might show up. Printers and scanners, same thing. This is another. See, you see why I hate Windows 10. There's different places where you can do the same shit because there's fucking 2 menus. Add a printer or scanner. All right, I'm done. Otherwise, I'm going to start yelling. It should detect your printer and then follow the prompts. All right. So that is why I did not write a goddamn fucking 5,000 word blog post. All right, now I'm going to destroy this customer. So these customers annoy me the most. They fucking play games. They lie to you. Number one, they did not tell me what operating system they were using when I asked them. Number two, they requested secure remote assistance, but I was busy helping another customer remotely. Well, then number three, they came back and said, well, I don't need your help. Number four, they went ahead and gave me a positive rating, meaning I received compensation. Number five, now when I said, oh, sorry about that, I was busy helping somebody else. Otherwise, I would have helped you remotely, which I can do. I can multitask. It's just I'm usually on this website. It's usually pretty slow over the weekend, so I was kind of surprised. I was like, well, holy fuck, 2 customers back to back need remote help. And so I was distracted with helping the other customer because he was having a major crisis with Windows 10. And guess what? Another possible Windows 10 update issue, or Windows 10 sucks. Their computer wouldn't boot up. It was blue screening. And then now it's possible that now the customer is a liar. They gave me a positive review, which tells me that my information helped them. Well, but now they typed in that, oh, well, nobody helped them. No, they're liars. They're fucking liars. They rated my question. They did not give me a negative rating, or they did not give me a low rating. They gave me a positive rating, which means that I get compensated for my time. I make money. Why would they have given me a positive rating if my information did not help them? These are the goddamn wretched time sharks in America that I talk about almost always in my video. These motherfucking goddamn Americans that are bipolar. They're fickle as fuck. If you don't kiss their ass, well then they reverse course. I know for a fact that my information helped them. Because why would they have given me a positive rating? They would have given me a negative rating if my information did not help them, or if I could not help them remotely, or if you know what I'm saying? These Americans are psychopaths. I deal with this type of a customer, I would say almost every day. There is some flaky motherfucker. They don't know shit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They have no business using a computer if they act this way. They probably didn't even know what operating system they were using. And then when I asked them, they were like, oh, fuck. Every day there are requests on this third-party website, and they even say it in the request. Oh, because a robot, but these people are idiots. A lot of these people are so stupid they don't realize that an artificial intelligence robot is who is talking to them at the beginning. They're so stupid they can't figure it out. Some of them literally think that a real person is the person that is chatting to them, when no, it's a robot. It's an artificial intelligence robot. It's so obvious that it's a computer. But a lot of these clowns will admit that they don't know what operating system they're using, because that's part of the artificial intelligence robot. One of the questions that the computer robot asks these potential customers is, what operating system are you using? But a lot of these schmucks, they don't even know. And, I'll be honest. There are certain responses from these clowns that immediately, I don't care. I don't even care if I know I can fix that problem. I don't even care if I can remotely connect into that computer and fix that problem. Chances are I ignore that request and I refuse to deal with that customer. If they have terrible grammar, well, I know I'm being an asshole, but I shouldn't say terrible grammar. If they cannot even type out a coherent sentence, I will not deal with them. If they complain about how much money it's going to cost, I will not deal with them. If they ask how much money the service costs, I will not deal with them. If they do not know what operating system they're using, chances are I do not want to deal with them, because that tells me that they know almost absolutely nothing about it. If you do not know what operating system you are using, it's like you bought a brand new Toyota 4Runner, a brand new model with all the bells and whistles, 4-wheel drive, 5-speed manual, just everything. But you don't even know what model you bought. You just spent $50,000 on a brand new sport utility vehicle, and you don't even know what model you're driving. How the fuck is that possible? In information technology, It is extremely important to know what operating system you're using because they're different. Even Microsoft operating systems are different. Microsoft fucks around and changes where they change the interface constantly. They change the control panel. So it's extremely important for me as a computer technician to know what operating system you're using so that I can look into your issues, so that I can provide instructions telling you what to click, what to search, where to go, what to do. And if you don't even know what operating system you're using, how am I supposed to provide you support? See, I told you I would start yelling. Adios.